Hey everybody, welcome to this week's edition of Market Wrap. In the spirit of Super Bowl Sunday coming up this weekend, I thought I'd spend a little bit of time talking some football as well as talking some markets. So let me start with a question. What do the New England Patriots and the Federal Reserve Board have in common? Well, both believe that artificially created deflation is the key to success in their respective businesses. Now, the allegations made against the New England Patriots point the finger at a team motivated to win at all cost, even if it means deflating footballs to gain a competitive advantage in the AFC Championship game a couple weeks ago. Now, similarly, the Federal Reserve Board has created a deflationary environment of their own to keep consumers spending to gain competitive edges in the global economy. Since consumer spending represents 70% of our overall economy, keeping the sales flowing in America has been the key motivator behind Fed policy. Now, in both cases of deflation, media headlines and reactions from NFL fans as well as investors have been very mixed all over the board. So as we approach Super Bowl Sunday, NFL fans are acting a lot like investors in response to this Deflategate. Angry fans are calling for the disqualification of the Patriots, while supporters on the other side are saying these allegations are completely false, and the only reason this is making headlines is because, well, it's the Patriots. Investors are behaving much the same way in response to the Fed Deflategate. One day markets are up, the next day they're down. There exists this bullish camp that believes markets are healthy and current prices are justified. On the other side of it's a bearish camp that sees a bloated market with the weight of debt and deficits waiting to bring it all crashing down. Now, headlines are only adding fuel to this fire. Inflation or deflation? Well, the Fed is starting to sound more hawkish, hinting toward a rate hike by mid-year. Yet when you look at the futures market, it's pricing that the probability of that happening is much lower than the Fed is actually hinting. When we look at employment, overall employment is strengthening as we get close to that 5% mark. But on the other hand, wages seem to be weaker. We have increased consumer spending that's driven overall markets higher, but holiday spending was down, and the sales numbers reflected that, and it's been hurting retail stocks. Oil prices sliding, and the continuous slide of oil prices is freeing up a lot more money for consumers to spend elsewhere. But the shares of oil companies are getting crushed, and that's hurting the broader market worldwide and negatively affecting all of our 401k balances. So what now? Regardless of both Deflategate scenarios, the winners in both cases will ultimately be the ones who can transition quickly from offense to defense and vice versa. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Offense wins games, but defense wins championships. And the Super Bowl championships in 2015 will no doubt be the team whose defense shows up and shuts the other team's offense down. The investor who wins the retirement savings championship will also be the investor who has a strategy that can quickly transition his or her 401k from offense to defense. Now, I'm happy to report that Gebhardt Group clients and 401k Masters members are on full offense mode right now. They're fully invested. But as I mentioned last week, using a little baseball analogy, we're watching very carefully because we do believe that this market is in the 7th or 8th inning of a 9-inning game. Now, I guess because it's Super Bowl week, I should really be using a football analogy by saying our markets are probably midway through the 4th quarter. Nonetheless, if our indicators signal a reversal in trends, we'll get our defense on the field immediately. And while our offense is hitting the locker room, kind of reviewing some game film. So I hope everybody has a wonderful Super Bowl weekend. I hope your team is one of the teams that's in it, and we'll talk to you all next week. Have a great weekend.